Yeah, so it kind of works sometimes, but that's the best I think I'm gonna get. Ahoy, salty dogs! Welcome back to StarMade on the Star Squadron server. My name is Lenscap, and today we're continuing work on Tortuga, our new station. So I did a couple of things off, excuse me, off camera between episodes. I started kind of getting some detail work in on the actual like reactor section of the station, and I got a little bit of stuff going on. Nothing fancy. I only have dark gray hull right now, so that's the only block I have to work with. So I'm pretty much just kind of laying out an idea for the basic shape of the housing for the reactor, and then we'll probably put a room inside of it of some kind, some decorative. This is our reactor room. In the meantime, you can see my station is shot to shit. So I had the reclaimer parked like right here-ish, pretty close to the base, and I was like semi AFK working on some stuff, letting my resources kind of produce because I needed some more hull. Um, and I looked over and like my station is starting to take damage. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So apparently there were two random pirates had spawned in my sector. Oh, I almost hit the map and showed you guys where I am, but it's a secret. Two random pirates had spawned nearby and were flying towards my station, I guess, just to get a feel for me. And the turrets on the reclaimer started shooting at them. Well, they were way over there in that direction, and the reclaimer was here, so the only way to get from here to there is through the station. So the turrets on my own ship totally blasted through my station. You can see these scorch marks where the blaster fire was. It undocked one of my rings. Yeah, like it's a big mess. So it destroyed a bunch of cargo blocks. Fortunately, I didn't lose any actual like loot or anything, but it destroyed a bunch of cargo blocks. So I replaced the cargo blocks. I haven't actually done any maintenance on the rest of it yet because I wanted to show you guys that. Yeah, I guess our next thing we need are some shields on our station just in case we attack ourselves again. um, so I think we're going to have to do that here pretty soon. But for our project for today, I'm tired of only having dark gray hull to work with here. So I think we're going to start on the manufacturing annex of our station today. Now, I don't know how far into the actual annex we're going to be able to get. Um, but this will at least kind of help us lay out the idea for the station going forward. You know, what kind of shape is it going to be? How is it going to be organized? What kind of floor plan are we going to have? Are we going to incorporate very much verticality? The answer is yes. And how are we going to accomplish that? So we can kind of decide, you know, how far away from the center, from the power core, do we put the annexes or the different rooms? Are we going to have one big station that's all interlocked interiorly? Interiorly. Is that a thing? Sure. And, I was thinking what we might do though is have different like annexes, like different buildings, kind of make it feel more like a complex of places that you have to like walk out into space to access. And then that means we'll need airlocks everywhere. So how fancy do we want to make this thing, right? Are we going to have cycling airlocks? Or are we just going to have like open a door, close it behind you, open the door in front of you kind of airlocks? I vote we go fancy with this one. Let's do, you know, really crazy decorations everywhere and cycling airlocks, rail doors all over the place. Like, let's go full bore on this and make it really, really cool. So to start with, though, I'm gonna fix the rings. I had a commenter. Let me see if I can find the comment real fast. The commenter's name was Lauren something, but I wanna give credit where credit's due. Load YouTube. Okay, Lauren's vlog, maybe. said dock both rings to the station and see if that works. So I did that. It still doesn't work. It's weird. It still is the same. So I think the issue with the rings is not I don't know. I guess it's like a desync problem between the server and my client is my assumption, because it still kind of has the same sort of functionality. If we start this ring moving, you can see it spins just fine, and I don't have this ring docked right now, but let me get that docked and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Yeah, so it kind of works sometimes, but that's the best I think I'm gonna get, kind of sometimes. Got a little bit of a building going on here. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this building just yet. It's kind of temporary, like it's semi-temporary. It was just really here to lay out the shape for what I want, and I think it does that. I started with a circle from the center with a radius of, I can't remember, like 94 or something, and that gives us this curve. And then I decided I wanted some flat areas on either side, so I did that. I did the depth and the back of the building. I haven't filled in all the walls or anything yet. It's just scaffolding, kind of, but I was just laying out some things. On the left side, or the right side, I guess, depending on how you look at it. On this side, though, it's just kind of caged in. I figured this would be open to space for the most part, and I don't know if I like the caged in feeling of it. But this is where my cargo is going to be stored. We might change this up, though, and what I think I'm actually going to do here is store the cargo pods, the containers, in this area, and then move the shelves with the cargo actually on it to the back of this room, or possibly over on this wall here. That could work. And then we can kind of have some robots working the cargo. I think that would be cool. That's kind of my thing. In this large room, it's kind of warehouse feeling, and I want it to feel like an open warehouse or a factory floor kind of thing, where it's just like a big open space. And what I intend on building here is are like little machines that do production stuff for us, similar to what Jace Machine has going on at his base. I really like the concept of this machine makes paint, and here's a hole forge, and this is like an assembly line kind of thing. So I figured we'd do something like that on this open floor space. But I wanted to at least give you guys an update and show you kind of what we have in the works here. I think let's go ahead, though, and move this cargo storage. I already moved everything off of our little temporary platform. So right now, the only reason this platform is still here is because it contains all of our power and shielding and whatnot for now. Until we can kind of more incorporate that into the core area, this will probably stay here. We can't put it in the core area, though, until we get factories. So we need to get factories. We need to get a factory building. So that's why we're doing this. But I think it would be cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and move our storage from down here into, maybe we'll put it against this back wall here. Oh, I haven't done very much detailing in here because I only have the one color block for now. So this is very, very, very like work in progress. Like it'll probably go through 3 or 4 different iterations of design and stuff. But I put some scaffolding kind of feeling, what do they call, like truss work on the ceiling here, and I like that actually. That'll probably stay. I really like having that on the ceiling there. I feel like it adds a very industrial feeling kind of vibe to the ceiling of the roof. I left this hole in the wall here thinking that maybe we could find some way, some robot arm or something that will like I don't know, extend into these cargo containers and then retract with blocks on it, maybe turn and move over this way and transfer, like kind of like it's acting like it's transferring cargo between the holding area here and into the actual cargo, like the actual factory here. But I'm not sold on that idea yet, especially not if we're going to be moving these boxes from here to the back wall, which I definitely intend to do. So I'm still not sure how I want to go about this space yet. I know I want it to be about this size and maybe extend even a little bit further. We'll just have to see how it works out once we've got a system in place to like capture the cargo containers and put them in a holding area. But for now, let's go ahead and get to work. So I recorded myself building this shelving unit, and it kind of devolved into just me counting a lot and screwing up measurements. So I don't think I'm going to include that in the video. It's not exactly enthralling footage, but I did want to put this in here. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to copy one of these truss work things and put it in the shelves themselves. So I actually already have it copied. There it is. But I want to show you how I got this, just in case you wanted to use this method in one of your builds as well. So the first thing I did was set my Y to the right size, which is going to be 4 blocks. My Z, I know that this pattern is a 6-block repeating pattern, and the X we don't have to change. So all you have to do is hit copy. Now if you try and copy it from the side, you're not going to get it right, but you can copy it from the bottom. So I'm just going to pick right there, and that'll add it to my clipboard. So now I can hit paste, and that gives me the pattern to paste it. Now all I got to do is paste it in. And I made these shelves wide enough from each other so that this would fit in the middle, just like that. So that's perfect. I don't actually think we need these on the top section though. So I'm actually not going to put them there, but I am going to put it on the bottom section as a kind of support. Now one thing I want to change though is that I want to make these solid blocks just because that'll be easier when we go to paste it. So I'm actually going to erase this line of slabs so that now when we go to paste this, we can more easily kind of define where it needs to go. So we can put that there, and then we'll do this one as well, needs to go there, and we'll put this one there, and finally that goes there. So now we've got our shelves, we've got our structural support in so that they look structurally sound. We'll probably end up replacing these wedges with a different color, maybe standard gray instead of the dark gray. I'm not sure quite yet what I'm going to do there. But the next thing we need to do is just fill that with our cargo spaces so we can select our cargo box. And we know we've already got the right width, but I think actually we want to make it as wide as the whole shelf. So now our Y, let's see, we're going to leave our Y at, let's make it 6. So that way we fill up the whole shelf. That'd be good. And then our X, now if we do 32 or 33, yeah, 33 here fills up all of the spaces. But that includes some of the spaces inside the girders here. So like here and here, for example, and here and here, it's going to put boxes. And I don't necessarily want that. But at the same time, I don't really mind. So we're just going to put it anyway. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the top row as well. But now we don't want the top row extending above these. That's an OSHA hazard, so we got to respect OSHA for sure. So we're going to drop that down to 3 and put it like that. And I think that's going to be our storage for this. So we can now unlink all of these that are over here. And it should fill up those with our crates. Yeah, now that's not going to be enough storage for our entire station. So we may have to put in another set of shelves on the back wall here. So yeah, I think I'll do that too. And then we still have a pretty fair amount of space for factory stuff. I want it to feel, so here's the thing. I want it to feel pretty crowded, right? I want it to feel like we're taking full advantage of the space we made. So crowded is not a bad thing in this case. Anytime you're doing interior spaces, like you don't want it to be you don't want it to be messy, but crowded is not bad. Think about how much space you have around you in your home right now, right? If you're walking between like if you have a walkway or a hallway between like your couch and a wall, then how wide is that? Maybe twice as wide as a person. That's only 2 blocks in StarMade, so you want it to feel pretty crowded. Now, we need to leave enough space between like this shelf and another set of shelves that if we did forklifts, for example, since we're in a warehouse, or we're going to use robots for it, but we need to make sure that there's space for the robots to fit in as well. So I think we're going to leave about 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 6. We'll give it 8 squares for good measure. And we'll start our next set of shelves there. So I'm going to go ahead and put in another thing of shelving just so we have some more spacing. I was thinking about maybe ways that we could get these rings to work better, and I wonder what would happen if we slow them down a little bit. Maybe the issue is that the rails are running too quickly. The rings are trying to spin too quickly, and maybe StarMade just can't keep up. So let's put down a rail speed controller, and let's cut their speed in half first. So to do that, you just put down your rail speed controller and attach 2 activation modules. And then the rail speed controller will adjust the speed of any linked rails by the percentage of active activation modules to the percentage of total activation modules that are also linked to it. So that's a little convoluted. Basically, this is 50% because you have 2 total activation modules and half of them are on. If you do 10 modules and turn on 5 of them, that accomplishes the same thing. If you want 10% speed, then you can put 10 modules and only turn on 1 module. For this test, we want half speed, so we're just going to use 2 modules. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's activate this one first. That still seems pretty fast. I wonder if we can slow it down any. So let's try and slow it down some. Let's take this and let's link another activation module. Is that slower actually? I wasn't watching. Let's see. Let's slow it down again. Oh yeah, that's definitely slowing it down. So let's see. That's a little bit more reasonable of a speed, I think. Let's see if StarMade can handle that one as well. So we still have the rail speed controller selected. Let's select this rail as well. I already did that. Okay, so let's start this ring spinning also and see if it can keep up any better. It doesn't look like it can. It looks like it still has the same problems it was having before. Maybe not. Yeah, no, it's still kind of buggy. It's still pretty buggy, so shoot, man, I was hoping that would work. So I wanted to end this episode by copying this shelving unit that we just made and pasting it in our open space here to give us twice as much storage capacity as we have. We're already at 48% and we barely have anything, so we're definitely going to need to expand on this even further later, but I figured this would be a good start for us. However, I encountered a bug when I tried to do this, and I figured if I'm running into bugs, probably so are you guys. So let's see if we can't overcome this and figure out if we can recreate it, figure out maybe what caused it, and then I can tell you what we can do to kind of get around it. So let's go ahead and copy the selection first. All right, so now we've got the shelves on our hotbar, or rather on our clipboard. And I'm going to paste it here. Now this is going to lag out our game. Yeah, so it doesn't like to paste the shelves. But let's orient them in a way that we can kind of better see what's going on. And I want to paste them about here. Come on, shelves. Work with me. So I want to put them here. So I'm going to click Okay, so I clicked, and I think it actually pasted them. Yeah, you can see my like selection box is touching them, is touching the blocks, but the blocks are not actually there. If we hop out of build mode, yeah, we can't see them, but the blocks are actually there. I suspect, let's see, can we fly through where they are? No, we can't. I'm hitting an invisible wall right now, so the blocks do exist there. So the blocks exist. I tried earlier to just restart the server. Well, I can't restart the server. I'm not an admin, but I tried to like reconnect to the server, and that kind of worked. It showed some of the blocks, but not all of them. The cargo spaces. Yeah, that's what I want to do. You can see if I select them, they're there. So what I ended up doing was, oh look, it finally loaded in. Okay, maybe it was just taking 1,000 years for it to load or something. Who knows? But okay, well, as long as we're seeing the cargo, that's the important thing. So, okay, well, we've got everything linked up. We've got all of our cargo taking up the spaces we want it to. I would call this a successful episode. You know, we got our storage set up here. In the next episode, we can start building like factory machines and placing them around the free space in the floor. We don't really have a whole lot of space to work with, do we? But I think it'll be enough for what we want to do. We don't need a ton of room. We just want something that resembles factories. It doesn't actually have to, you know, take up that much space. But I think this will be a cool start for what we've got. Anyway, guys, if you have any suggestions for how to get this stupid gyroscoping idea to work for me, I definitely would appreciate those. I know you left a bunch of good stuff in the last episode in the comments, and I tried a couple of them, but I thought the best chance we had would be the one we tried today, but it's just not working for me. Yeah, any ideas? I'm open to suggestions at this point. Leave them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. See you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned.